Roger Goodell is one of them people that I get tired of having to talk about on my channel. I get tired of seeing his face. I get tired of saying his name. However, with this particular video, I will make an exception. Because in case y'all haven't heard, Roger Goodell is running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to pander as much as he possibly can to black folks based on the bullshit that he put Colin Kaepernick through all these years. And basically not having a spine to stand up to 45 in the words in the comments that he had made in the past. So Roger Goodell is trying his hardest to get any NFL team to sign Colin Kaepernick. And to be quite honest, I don't want any team to sign him. Let me explain why. I want this to be Roger Goodell's hanging head in shame moment, because he had the opportunity to actually defend and speak up on Colin Kaepernick's behalf 4 years ago when all of this shit kicked off, but he decided to sit back and just let it happen, and he didn't stand up to 45, who had no business throwing his weight into NFL affairs. That was not his realm. Roger Goodell should have had a better handle on that. He would have got way more respect. Now, a lot of people are saying that Roger Goodell needs to be fired, and even I said the same thing too, but Caressa had mentioned to me, and I forgot about this. Roger Goodell ended up saving his own neck and his own job by signing that extension contract to keep him on. And see, they don't want to do a breach of contract in which Roger Goodell would be able to sue the people who broke the contract, because that's too much of a hassle that they would have to deal with, and it's too many legalities attached to it. So they don't want to deal with it. So it's like, okay, we'll just deal with it for now, and when his contract is done, we won't re-sign it. We'll just look for a new commissioner, because they need a new commissioner. Roger Goodell, if y'all remember back in the early 2000s, if y'all seen that movie Concussion, depending on how you feel about it because of Will's acting and portrayal of the character, in the movie, Roger Goodell could have been seen as a villain in that movie. When they were trying to say or mention about CTE and how it affected the NFL players with concussions and everything like that, and how it affected them after their career was done, he was one of the main people that tried to brush it off as some kind of a conspiracy theory. Like when that doctor went to the NFL and tried to tell them that, look, these players definitely need some kind of treatment with all these head injuries after their career. Some of them were career-ending injuries, and many of them went crazy, and some of them committed suicide because they couldn't take the brain. It was so much pressure from being hit so many times. And Roger Goodell just stood up during that platform and tried to brush it off as if it was an isolated incident or just something that needed a Band-Aid put on it. That's the type of person we're dealing with here. So when I bring that up, and that happened way before Colin Kaepernick was even known, when I bring that up, that lets you know what type of person Roger Goodell is. Why do you think he's doing all this pandering right now? His back is literally against the wall. He doesn't know what the hell to do. He's trying to do all this stuff to try to cater to black people when we've been over it. We're over it. Roger Goodell, like nothing you can do or say. We don't care if the NFL makes Juneteenth a federal holiday, because take a number, because now it seems everyone else is doing the same exact thing. We don't care if you put BLM on some merchandise. Truth be told, black people who have lifted the veil already see BLM for what it is and don't care about that either. It's the fact that you had Colin Kaepernick do something that was not disruptive at all. People blew it out of proportion, and you as the commissioner should have stepped in and did your fucking job and defended one of your players. But you allowed that fool that sits at, or sometimes is at, that White House get in your ear and tell you that, and then insult your players by calling them sons of bitches. You didn't even step up when he said that about your players. That lets you know right there how he feels. And when he called them sons of bitches, let's be completely honest here. He wasn't talking about the players that look like Tom Brady. See, there's so many instances why Roger Goodell is not a good person. He's not. He's about his bottom line. And right now, his bottom line is being affected. And I love it. Let him suffer along with the rest of them. I will say this. While the George Floyd incident is a tragedy, one of the biggest tragedies we have seen so far probably this year, it has exposed a lot in just a few weeks. It hasn't even been a full month since we saw George Floyd be murdered on camera. And a whole bunch of stuff has steamrolled from it. Now you have the police the terrorists, they're on edge. You have these multi-billion-dollar companies, they're on edge. These Fortune 500 companies, they're on edge. Owners on edge. Shoot, quiet as it's kept. 45 is on edge, but you know he doesn't like people to see him sweat. Because not only is the establishment watching, the world is watching now. All eyes is honed in, squared in, crosshaired on the United States. That is unheard of. In my 31 years of existing, I have never seen anything quite like it. And I must honestly say I'm enjoying every second of it. Unlike our counterparts, I'm enjoying what's happening, what's being unveiled, what's being unmasked. And Roger Goodell, your days are numbered as far as I'm concerned. Because if it was up to me, your ass would have been out there way before you even had a chance to pander to black people.